This is the case of the original Night Stalker. Also known as the East Area Rapist and Golden State Killer, he was a notorious, unidentified serial offender who terrorized California during the 1970s and 1980s. His crimes, which included burglaries, rapes, and murders, struck fear into numerous communities, leaving a trail of trauma and devastation. For decades, the identity of this elusive predator remained a mystery, but advancements in DNA technology eventually led to his capture. To understand the original Night Stalker, it's essential to delve into the life of Joseph James DeAngelo, the man ultimately identified as the perpetrator. Born November 8, 1945 in Bath, New York, DeAngelo grew up in a middle-class family. In 1964, he graduated from Folsom High School in Sacramento, California. After graduating, DeAngelo enlisted in the U.S. Navy, serving during the Vietnam War. It was during his military service that he may have acquired the skills and knowledge that would later aid him in his crimes. Following his time in the Navy, DeAngelo pursued a career in law enforcement. He attended Sierra College's Police Academy and began working as an officer in Exeter, California from 1973 to 1976. His time in Exeter coincided with the beginning of the original Night Stalker's crimes. Then known as the Vasali Ransacker, the first crime occurred on March 19, 1974, when a sum of $50 in coins was stolen from a piggy bank. This pattern continued as he was known to leave more high-priced valuables alone and steal petty items. Meticulous in his approach, he would place warning items such as dishes or bottles against doors and door handles. During these burglaries, he would scatter women's underwear around the house and vandalize the owner's possessions. He is believed to have been responsible for over 120 burglaries. In 1976, DeAngelo transferred to the Auburn Police Department in Auburn, California, where he served until 1979. His crimes would escalate from burglary to rape, earning him the moniker of the East Area Rapist by the media during this time. The first known attack attributed to the East Area Rapist occurred on June 18, 1976 in Rancho Cordova, California. A young woman was sleeping in her home when an intruder broke in and sexually assaulted her at knife point. This would mark the beginning of a series of rapes that would terrorize California for over a decade. His initial MO was to stalk suburban neighborhoods, looking for women who lived alone. The police believed DeAngelo would conduct extensive surveillance in the area before he attacked, even breaking into homes of future victims to unlock windows and remove guns. He even telephoned victims for months in an attempt to learn their routines. Although he initially targeted women living alone or with children, he eventually began to attack couples. This is believed to be a direct result of media reports claiming he only attacked women living alone. He would break into homes while the victims slept, frequently through a window or a sliding glass door. The victims, awakened by a flashlight and a gun, were bound, blindfolded, and gagged. DeAngelo would often force the female victim to tie up her male companion before being restrained herself. He would then separate the couple, placing dishes on the male's back and threatening to kill everyone if he heard them rattle. DeAngelo would spend hours in a home, going through closets and drawers. He would eat food in their kitchen, drinking beers before returning to rape the female victim again and again. Victims often believe he left the home before he jumped from the darkness. This psychological tactic would leave victims lying still long after the attacks were over, giving DeAngelo additional time to get away. Over the years, the original Night Stalker's crimes escalated in severity and frequency. His reign of terror extended to various locations across California, including Sacramento, Contra Costa County, Santa Barbara County, and Orange County. He committed over 50 sexual assaults and more than 100 burglaries. On February 2, 1978, the original Night Stalker committed his first known murder. Brian and Katie Maggiore, a young couple out walking their dog in Rancho Cordova, encountered DeAngelo, who was prowling the area. A confrontation ensued, and the perpetrator shot and killed Brian, who was only 21 years old at the time. Katie Maggiore, who was just 20 years old, also lost her life attempting to flee. This marked a deadly turning point in his criminal behavior, and investigations were intensified as fear in the community was heightened. On December 30th, 1979, the original Night Stalker once again showed his brutality and disregard for human life. In the city of Goleta, he broke into the home of Dr. Robert Offerman and his girlfriend, Alexandria Manning. He committed horrifying acts of brutality before shooting them both and claiming their lives in a senseless act of violence. The original Night Stalker's final known murder occurred on May 4th, 1986 in Irvine, Orange County. Janelle Cruz, an 18-year-old woman, was brutally beaten and murdered in her home. Following this crime, the original Night Stalker seemingly vanished, leaving investigators and communities bewildered. For decades, law enforcement and the public grappled with the unsolved case of the original Night Stalker. The fear and trauma inflicted by his crimes persisted, and the lack of resolution frustrated investigators. However, advancements in DNA technology provided a glimmer of hope. In 2018, authorities made a major announcement. They had identified Joseph James DeAngelo as the suspected original Night Stalker. Using familial DNA matching, investigators were able to link DeAngelo to the crimes. On April 24, 2018, DeAngelo was arrested in his home in Sacramento, marking the end of his long run of evading capture. The arrest brought relief to the victims and their families, as well as closure to the communities that had lived in fear for so many years. The case of the original Night Stalker stands as a chilling reminder of the horrors that can be inflicted by a relentless and elusive serial offender. It underscores the importance of ongoing efforts to solve cold cases, bring closure to victims and their families, and deliver justice. That closes the case. Let us know what you think. And if you want more content just like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you another time.